way of renewing itself. Nature itself has this way of placing certain people and certain beings in your path that make it possible for you to deal with these things. But it's your choice. It's your choice. Are you going to deal with it, or is it going to pass you up, and are your grandchildren or someone else down your family bloodline going to deal with it? Are you going to be the breadwinner of your family? Are you going to be the one who's going to be responsible for recollecting the birthright and the knowledge that existed within your family bloodline? Is it going to be you, or is it going to be your daughter or your son? Or is it going to be someone else? Is it going to be their son's daughter, or daughter's son or daughter? Who's it going to be? Somebody's going to step up to the plate. And the fact that you're listening to what I'm saying, and the fact that you're here, your ancestors are pushing you. So, this is what we're dealing with. Take the time to research. Take the time to do as much studying on these subjects as you can. Look, take the time, travel to the site, www.iks.yourstar.org. Look at some of the videos. Look, and I'm not talking about the recent videos that are in the chat room. You look at those too. I'm talking about the videos that are not the videos that are in the community. You look at those too. But I'm talking about the introductory, the IKS introductory videos that are on the front page. Look at some of those elders that are there speaking, talking to you, explaining about the things they have for IKS, explaining the things that they have for you, explaining the things that they're willing to give, explaining the knowledge that they're willing, the birthrights that they're willing to teach and to give the brothers and sisters that are interested and that are sincere. Look, it's on there. You hear me talking on the radio program, you hear me talking, it's talk. But go look and see it for your own eyes. And see what they're saying. This is real. We're not taking the time to put all this together to play games, to joke around. This is real. Very real. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the lines one more time and ask, last questions. If you have some questions, go ahead and let me have your questions. Let's go here. 646, you're on the air. What is your name? What is your question? Do you have any additional questions?
You posted a question in the chat room. It's similar to the one I was going to ask, and I think you worded it very well. You asked about how can you empower your ancestors to do some of the work that you need to do, but he hasn't posted in the on the chat room.
Okay, very good question. And listen, I apologize to the brothers and sisters. I apologize. Someone's calling me. 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm back on the air. Apologize. Look, very, very good question. Can you hear me, brother? I just want to make sure the brother is still on the line. If you guys can still hear me. Very, very good question. Okay. Let me see. 646. Are you still on the air? 646. Are you still there? Okay. Well, okay. I guess you want to be silent. But look, the brother asked the question, how can you empower your ancestors? And there are several different things that you can do to empower your ancestors. You know, what we call Sarah, or we call a sacrifice, doesn't necessarily have to be a blood sacrifice. You know, a simple thing that you can do to empower your ancestor is to give them water, to give them alcohol. Those are simple things that you could use to empower your ancestors. Create your ancestral shrine. Look, call on their name. Do you understand that? There's certain herbs and there's certain medicines that you can also use to empower your ancestors. Look, there's things that there's medicines, there's spiritual baths and so forth that you can, look, there's sacrifices that you can do that will not only empower you, but will empower your ancestors. Why do you think that there are rituals and there are ceremonies that are done for people that are no longer living in order to help them to transition from one place to the next? Look, a prime example. You want an example? Kemet. Look at the opening of the mouth ceremony. That's a ceremony, right? And it's a ceremony for someone who's no longer living. Why are they doing that ceremony? To empower and to strengthen. Do you understand? So there are ceremonies, there are things, there are rituals, there are medicine, there is medicine, there are certain things that can be done to empower your ancestors. Look, that's why you guys need to get involved in the lessons so that we can deal with this. We have spiritual groups. Look, we have spiritual groups on IKS. I'm calling them our graduate groups. We have one called Tidigu. And that one, you know, I'm dedicating to my brothers and sisters that practice Palo. And anyway, you know, the brothers and sisters that are in Palo, I'm calling out, you know, to you guys. I'm saying, look, you know, you go on there and you read the page. I explain about the relationship I had with Paleros, you know, a long, you know, years and years ago, you know, that initiated me to some things. And before we were able to complete our mission, you know, he got, you know, taken away by the government. And I was always supposed to bring back some of the indigenous knowledge from the continent and to help out, you know, the other brothers, you know, brothers and sisters that were in that house, but it never happened. So I'm creating that there for those brothers and sisters. But we have groups on Mami Wata, we have groups on the dwarfs, we have groups dealing with the Kabri. We're coming out with groups with the Jinwada for sisters that want to deal with the Queen of Witches. These are groups that are specifically set up for, you know, brothers and sisters that are already in the practice, that have already been dealing with these things for years, you know. But then we have, you know, brothers and sisters that have not necessarily been dealing with this. You know, if you get a chance to go through the protocol lessons, you get a chance to go through the white lessons, do you understand, 1 through 7, then you'll actually get a chance. You can actually travel into some of these groups and you can start studying and start dealing with these things. But, you know, this is what we have set IKS up for, so that we can get this knowledge to you so that you can start empowering yourself, you can start empowering your ancestors, you can start creating real action and real movement in your communities. It's not just about listening to me. It's about you yourself becoming a leader. It's about you yourself becoming a leader in your community. Look, I'm one person. These elders and the brothers and sisters out there that we're putting this together, we're only a certain group of people. You yourself are going to have to step up and to become a leader in your own community. I'm not in Chicago. I'm not in Wisconsin. I'm not in Ohio. I'm not in Florida. I'm not in this. You are. I'm not in those communities. You are. So someone has to learn this knowledge. Someone has to be the ambassador or the liaison for this indigenous knowledge into these communities. And it's going to have to be you. You're going to have to be the one who's going to learn how to do these things, going to learn how to deal with this knowledge.